drifting in and out of your energy like a passing storm. This is someone whose heart has crossed a line it cannot uncross, and now everything inside them keeps circling back to you. That is why this reading feels so emotional. Because the cards are not showing a little crush, they are not showing a random attraction. They are showing attachment with roots, longing with weight. The first card opening this message is the Devil, and here it does not speak of something empty or careless. It speaks of fixation, of a pull that keeps returning. A bond that has gotten under the skin, into the thoughts, into the quiet hours when the world goes still and the truth gets louder. This person may think about you when they are trying not to. They may replay your voice, your expressions, the smallest moments that should have passed lightly, but did not. The Devil says this connection may have become impossible for them to shake in any simple way. You may live in their mind with a force that surprises them, and the more they try to contain it, the more they may realize it is not going anywhere. The next card stepping forward is the Four of Wands. It says the obsession is not only about wanting, it is also about belonging. This person may not only crave your presence, they may feel at peace in it. They may imagine what it would feel like to stay close to you, to build something steady, to stop fearing the bond and simply live inside it. The Four of Wands is the card of emotional homecoming. So while the Devil shows intensity, the Four of Wands shows why that intensity has become so powerful. Because you do not only stir desire in them, you awaken comfort, safety. The next card appearing here is the King of Cups. And this tells me their feelings have depth, even if they do not always speak easily. The King of Cups does not carry light emotion, he carries oceans quietly. He may stay composed on the outside while the inner world is overflowing. So this person may look calmer than they truly are. They may act more controlled than they truly feel. But the cards say the love underneath is mature, deep, and incredibly real. This is not a passing reaction. This is someone who has already gone far enough emotionally that they may know in their private heart that leaving you behind is no longer something they truly want. The next card rising now is the Nine of Swords. And this is where the reading breaks open, because yes, they are deeply attached. But they may also be shaken by how much you matter. They may lose sleep. Replay conversations. Wonder whether you know, wonder whether you feel the same pull. The Nine of Swords is emotional pressure, the kind that builds in silence. So when the title says this made me cry, it makes sense because the cards show someone carrying you in a way that is both beautiful and overwhelming. The next card stepping in is the Hierophant. This card is one of the strongest signs that they are not planning to treat this bond lightly. The Hierophant says they may want to stay to choose to honor what they feel instead of running from it forever. This is someone who may be shifting from emotional chaos into commitment energy, not because the love became less intense, but because it became too meaningful to keep handling carelessly. The next card here is the Star, and this is the tenderness underneath everything. The Star says there is hope in them, hope that this can be steady. Hope that what they feel is not here to destroy them, but to lead them somewhere honest. You may feel like healing to them, like relief, like a light they kept trying to deny they needed, until the heart made the truth impossible to hide. The final card appearing in this first opening is the Ten of Pentacles, and this is the clearest message of all. They are not only attached to the moment, they are attached to the future. This person may already be imagining what it would mean not to lose you, what it would mean to keep you, what it would mean to stay. So the message is clear. They are deeply obsessed with you, but not in a hollow way. It is emotional, it is consuming, it is rooted. And more than that, they may already know they do not want to leave. They may already feel that whatever this bond has become, it is something they want to remain inside for the long run. There is one more layer here. Part of what makes this so moving is that their attachment may no longer be fighting against the idea of permanence. It may actually be leaning toward it. The same person who cannot stop thinking about you may also be the person quietly deciding that they do not want a life where you disappear, because this is not someone visiting your energy. This is someone settling into it. A different depth opens here, and this is where the connection stops looking like something temporary and starts feeling like something that has already taken root in their inner world. Because some people think of someone, miss them, want them, then slowly move on. But this energy does not look like that. It looks like a person who keeps returning to the same name, the same face, the same emotional pull, until they can no longer pretend it is just a phase. The first card stepping forward here is the Eight of Cups. Now, in many readings, this card can look like someone walking away, but here it feels different. It feels like someone who tried to create distance, tried to move forward, tried to tell themselves that less contact would make the feelings easier to carry. And yet, the heart did not follow the plan. The body may have stepped back, the voice may have gone quiet, the outside may have looked still, but inside, the attachment stayed. That is what makes this so emotional, because the Eight of Cups here says they may have tried to leave the feeling behind and discovered that the feeling came with them. The next card appearing here is the Queen of Pentacles. This is beautiful because it says part of what keeps them so tied to you is not only passion, it is the sense of comfort, safety, and nourishment your energy gives them. You may feel grounding to this person, like someone whose presence settles something restless inside them, like someone who makes life feel softer, steadier, warmer. They begin craving the peace of it. They begin needing the warmth of it. They begin noticing how different everything feels when that presence is not there. The next card rising here is the Page of Swords. This tells me their attention keeps moving back to you, even when they try to focus elsewhere. They may check, wonder, notice, replay. They may be curious about what you are doing, how you are feeling, whether your energy still turns toward them in the quiet. The Page of Swords is watchful, alert, mentally hooked, not because they are bored, not because they are empty, because they are attached. The next card arriving is the Five of Pentacles, and this is where the reading becomes more touching, because this card says the thought of distance may hurt them more than they show. The idea of losing access to your warmth, your attention, your emotional presence may feel much heavier than they expected. This is not the energy of someone who can casually drift away and stay fine. This is someone who may feel the absence in an aching way, that what they feel is not light, not casual, not replaceable. The next card stepping in is Temperance. This card says the reason the bond is so hard to leave is that it may feel naturally balanced to them. Even if emotions are intense, something about the connection may also feel healing, harmonizing, like your energy carries a medicine they did not know they needed until they met it. Temperance says this is not only obsession in the sharp sense. It is also attachment in the peaceful sense, the kind that says, when I am near this person, something in me settles. The next card appearing here is the Emperor. And now the energy shifts from feeling into decision. Because the Emperor says they may not only be aware of their attachment now, they may be starting to take it seriously. To understand that if they want you in their life, they need to stop drifting and start standing in what they feel. The Emperor is the part of them that wants to hold on properly, not chaotically, to build something real, not just sit in longing forever. The final card appearing here is the Ten of Cups, because the Ten of Cups says this person may not only be attached to you in the moment, they may already connect you with emotional fulfillment, with peace, with the picture of a life that feels happier because you are in it. That is why the bond has become so strong. It is not only about wanting you, it is about not wanting a future that does not have you somewhere inside it. So the message of this part becomes very clear. Yes, they are deeply obsessed with you. But more than that, they are emotionally anchored to you. Your energy may have become part of the way they feel comfort, part of the way they feel hope, part of the way they imagine lasting happiness. And there is one more layer here too. Part of why this attachment may feel so overwhelming to them is that it has already crossed beyond simple desire. It has entered the place where the soul begins saying, I do not want to lose this. And once a person reaches that place, the bond stops feeling optional. It starts feeling essential, because this is not the story of someone who is passing through your life lightly. This is the story of someone who may already know deep inside that they are staying because leaving no longer feels true to what their heart has become around you. A deeper layer rises now, and this is where the bond stops looking like intense attachment only and starts revealing something even more powerful. This person is not only unable to let you go in their thoughts, they may be building a whole emotional world around the idea of keeping you close. That is what makes this part so moving. Because obsession can burn hot, but this feels like obsession mixed with devotion, not only wanting, not only craving. Keeping. The first card stepping forward here is the Four of Pentacles. This card says they are holding on with both hands to the connection to the memories, to the hope that what they feel is not going to slip away before they can secure it. The Four of Pentacles is not relaxed energy. It is protective energy. It is someone who has realized the bond matters too much to treat casually, and now the heart has tightened around it. They may not say this openly, but on the inside there may already be a strong message repeating itself. I do not want to lose this. I do not want to lose them. The next card appearing here is the Knight of Cups. The feeling may be romantic, soft, and very emotionally alive. This person may still think about what they want to say to you. They may imagine moments of honesty, sweetness, closeness. The Knight of Cups is the part of them that does not only want access to you, it wants emotional nearness. It wants to be let in. It wants to move from silent feeling into meaningful exchange. So even when the energy feels intense, there is tenderness inside it. The next card rising here is the Six of Swords. Now, this is interesting because it says they may have tried to calm themselves, to move their mind into a more peaceful place, to stop carrying so much emotional pressure around you. But the card suggests that even while trying to steady themselves, they have been bringing the attachment with them. This is not someone who found easy distance. This is someone who keeps carrying you across every emotional bridge, whether they planned to or not. The next card appearing here is the Queen of Cups. This is beautiful because it says your place in their heart may be very soft. You may not only be the person they want, you may be the person they feel emotionally safe loving. The Queen of Cups is warmth, care, gentleness, and deep inner tenderness. So the obsession here may not only be about intensity, it may also come from the fact that your energy feels emotionally precious to them, like something that soothes while it stirs, like something that comforts while it deeply affects them. That kind of connection is hard to release. The next card arriving is the Devil, and here the reading speaks very plainly. Yes, the attachment is powerful. Yes, it may feel consuming. Yes, this person may think of you when they should be focused elsewhere and return to you in their mind again and again. But the Devil here does not stand alone. It stands beside cups, warmth, care, and future cards. So this is not empty obsession. This is emotional fixation tied to real feeling. That is what gives it so much weight. The next card stepping into the reading is the Ten of Pentacles. And this changes everything. Because the Ten of Pentacles says they are not only attached to what you are now, they may be attached to what you represent in their future stability. Lasting presence, the person they do not want to become a temporary chapter. This is someone who may already feel, in a very quiet but serious way, that if they can keep you in their life, they want to keep you for a long time, not for a season, not for convenience. For real, the final card appearing here is the Sunday, and this is the clearest truth of all. Your presence may brighten their life in a way they can no longer ignore. You may not only stir desire or emotional dependence, you may bring joy, warmth, a sense of life opening. That is one reason they are staying. Because when a person realizes that someone else has become one of the brightest parts of their world, walking away stops feeling natural. So the message of this part becomes very clear. They are deeply obsessed with you. Yes, but more than that, they are choosing not to leave. The heart is not drifting. It is fastening itself more tightly. And there is one more layer here too. Part of what may be making this bond feel so permanent in them is that you may now symbolize more than romance. You may symbolize comfort, meaning hope, and the kind of connection they do not easily believe they can replace. That is why the attachment feels emotional, mental, and almost spiritual at the same time. They may not know how to explain it neatly, but they may already know one thing very clearly. They are not going anywhere. Because some people want love. Some people enjoy love. But this person may have reached the point where they are built around it now, and that love has your name inside it. And this part of the reading feels like the moment where devotion stops hiding behind intense feeling and begins taking the shape of permanence. Because craving can be sudden, attachment can be overwhelming, longing can come in waves. But staying is different. Staying is what happens when a heart stops asking, how do I calm this down? And starts asking, how do I keep this person close to me for real? The first card stepping forward here is the Hierophant. This card says the connection is no longer living only in emotional chaos. Something in this person is beginning to want form, truth, steadiness, something that can be named and honored instead of only felt in silence. The Hierophant is the card of commitment energy, and in this reading it says their attachment may be turning into a deeper kind of promise inside them. Not only, I want you, but I do not want this bond to be temporary. The next card appearing here is the Nine of Cups. This is beautiful because it says your energy has become tied to emotional fulfillment in their inner world. You may not only be the person they desire, you may be the person who brings relief, pleasure, softness, and a quiet kind of happiness. When they think about you, something may brighten. When they imagine losing you, something may ache. That is why the attachment feels so powerful now. It is not only about wanting more, it is about not wanting less. The next card rising here is the Strength card. Now we see how much they are trying to hold themselves together around all of this. Strength is controlled intensity. It is someone managing a great deal of feeling without fully letting it spill over. So even if they look composed, even if they act steady, it may take effort. Real effort because the heart is strong here and the attachment is not light. This person may be trying to move with dignity while privately feeling deeply tethered to you. The next card appearing here is the Two of Cups, and this confirms why they cannot simply detach, because the connection feels mutual in spirit, meaningful in spirit. Real in spirit, the Two of Cups says this is not only obsession born from distance or fantasy, it is attachment born from emotional meeting, from the sense that something true happened here, something that touched both hearts, something that deserves more than careless drift. That is why staying has become important to them. They may feel this bond is too real to abandon. The next card stepping into the reading is the Seven of Pentacles. This card says they have been reflecting, looking at the connection over time, measuring how much it has grown, how much it matters, how often the heart still returns to the same place. And what they may be discovering is that the feeling did not fade with time, it deepened. That realization can be very emotional because it means they can no longer tell themselves this is a passing season. The Seven of Pentacles says they may already know the roots have gone too deep for that. The next card appearing here is the Ten of Cups, and this is where the reading opens like a wound and a blessing at the same time. Because this card says the reason they are staying is not only because they are obsessed, it is because they may already connect you with emotional home, not just passion, not just thrill. Home, the kind of bond that makes the future feel softer in their imagination, the kind of presence that makes them feel that life could be fuller, calmer, happier, and more whole if you remained in it. That is not a small thing. That is not easy to release. That is the kind of realization that can make a person cry in private because they understand how much another soul has come to mean. The final card appearing here is the Ace of Pentacles. This is the sign that the staying energy wants to become real. Not only emotional, real, something that can be held, protected, built, and lived. So the message of this part becomes clear. Yes, they are deeply attached to you. Yes, the obsession is real. Yes, the heart keeps returning to you. But even more than that, they are not planning to drift away. They may already feel that what is growing here deserves a place in real life, a place with shape, steadiness, and time around it. There is one more layer here too. Part of what makes this so powerful is that their attachment may have already matured into devotion. Not perfect, not easy, but devotion. The kind that does not disappear when things become serious. The kind that does not only want intensity, but continuity. The kind that quietly says, I am still here and I do not want to go. That is why the cards feel so certain. Now, because this person may not only be lost in their feelings, They may already be building themselves around the decision to remain, and once a heart reaches that point, it stops wandering. A deeper vow is moving through this reading now. And this is the part where the feeling stops sounding like temporary intensity and starts sounding like a promise the heart has already made in secret. Because there is a point where attachment no longer asks, how do I stop feeling this much? It begins asking, how do I keep this in my life? That is where this person feels. Now, the first card stepping forward here is the King of Cups. This card says their emotions are not chaotic underneath all of this. They are deep, steady, and much more serious than they may have shown. This person may have tried to manage the bond quietly, to stay composed, to act as if the connection could be handled in a calm and reasonable way. But the King of Cups says the truth has outgrown that small frame. What they feel is mature enough to stay, strong enough to last, and heavy enough to matter. The next card appearing here is the Six of Pentacles. This tells me they do not only want to receive your warmth, they may want to give back to it, they may want balance, shared care. The kind of connection where both people know they matter and neither heart is left starving for truth. So the staying energy here is not only selfish attachment, it is the wish to participate, to support, to remain present in a real and equal way. The next card rising here is the Devil. And yes, the obsession is still undeniable. They may still think about you at unexpected times. They may still feel drawn to your voice, your presence, your silence, even your absence. The Devil says the bond has a hold on them, but in this part of the reading, that hold is not only about hunger, it is also about how impossible you have become to replace in their inner world. The next card appearing here is the Ten of Pentacles. This is one of the strongest cards for long-term staying power. It says the heart is no longer only caught in the now, it is looking at future shape, real-life shape. This person may already be imagining what it would mean to keep you close through seasons, through ordinary days, through all the little moments that make a bond real. The Ten of Pentacles says you may already feel woven into the future they would actually choose if they stopped running from the truth. The next card stepping into the reading is the Star. This is beautiful because it says part of why they are staying is hope, the kind that glows in a person when they feel something rare and do not want to lose it. You may feel like someone who brings light after inner heaviness, someone who reminds them that closeness can still feel honest, warm, and worth trusting. That kind of hope keeps people from walking away. The next card appearing here is the Knight of Pentacles. This card says they may be willing to prove the staying energy slowly, carefully, and with real effort. Not all at once. Not in one dramatic speech, but in consistency, in return, in showing up again. The Knight of Pentacles is the one who understands that if something matters, it deserves patience, steadiness, and work. So if this person has already decided they are staying, they may also know that staying must be shown, not only felt. The final card appearing here is the Sunday, and this is the clearest truth in the whole part. You may not only be the person they want, you may be the person whose presence brightens everything, the one who makes the future feel softer, the one who turns longing into meaning. So the message of this part becomes very clear. Yes, they are deeply obsessed with you. Yes, the attachment is real. Yes, the bond may have reached a point where it touches every layer of them, but beyond all of that, they are staying not in a vague way, not in a for now way, not in a half-hearted way. They may already know that walking away would feel less true than remaining. They may already know that your place in their life is no longer temporary in their heart. And there is one more layer here too. Part of what makes this so emotional is that they may not have planned for love to become this permanent. They may have expected a passing season, a strong attraction, a chapter that would eventually soften and fade. Instead, the feeling kept deepening, kept returning, kept asking to be treated as something lasting, and now the heart may already understand what the mind took longer to admit. This is not something they want to lose. This is not someone they want to leave behind. This is not a bond they want to gamble with anymore. It means more than that. You mean more than that. And once a person knows that with their full heart, they begin choosing presence over escape, devotion over distance, and truth over pretending. That may be exactly what is happening here now. They are not only feeling you, They are anchoring to you because some people love in a wave and some love like roots. This person may already know which kind of love this has become. What this person feels has settled much deeper than that. The first card appearing here is the World. This card says something inside them has completed a cycle. The old way of thinking about this bond, the old way of trying to keep their feelings smaller than they really are, the old way of pretending they could simply move on if they needed to. That chapter may be closing now. The World is completion, but it is also realization. It is the moment a person understands what something truly means in their life. And this person may now understand that you are not a passing chapter in their story. You have become part of the center. The next card appearing here is the Ace of Cups. This is the overflowing heart, living love, emotion that no longer wants to stay hidden. So even if they have tried to stay measured, tried to stay calm, tried to keep this bond from becoming too important, the Ace of Cups says the feeling has already grown beyond that. It is open inside them now, full. Tender, real, this person may already know that the love is no longer asking whether it should stay. It is asking how it can be lived honestly. The next card appearing here is the Four of Wands. This is beautiful because it says the staying energy is not only emotional attachment, it is the wish for shared life, shared peace, shared warmth. The kind of bond that feels good to come home to. This person may not only want access to your energy, they may want to build a place in their life where your energy belongs naturally. The next card appearing here is the Devil. And yes, the intensity is still very strong. The bond still has a hold on them. You may still return to their thoughts without warning. Your name may still stir them. Your absence may still press on them in ways they do not fully admit out loud. But here the Devil feels less like chaos and more like undeniable attachment. The kind that says, no matter what I do, I keep coming back to this person in my mind, in my body, in my heart. That is powerful, and it is one reason this reading feels so emotional. The next card appearing here is the King of Pentacles, because this card says they are not only staying in feeling, they may want to stay in action, in loyalty, in real presence. The King of Pentacles is not interested in loving from a distance forever if the bond truly matters. He wants to keep, to protect, to make the love strong enough to live in the real world. So this person may already be moving inside themselves from longing into quiet commitment. Not only I feel this deeply,